we were there moments after General Conference 2019 came to a conclusion. And even though some people were pleased with the outcome and some people were not, you didn't really hear any celebrating going on. There weren't smiles when it was all over. What was your sense of the mood after General Conference?
Wow. Well, for some people, it was a great deal of sadness. For those who felt that the decision of General Conference 2019 was a decision that was hurtful to them. That was a great deal of sadness for those. I think that was this kind of deer in the headlights. Like what really happened? Because everything went so fast. But the other part of that was even those who felt in their hearts that they were, and who felt that they that the legislation that was passed was legislation they wanted, because they loved the Lord with all their heart and their soul. You can't love Jesus without loving people. And I think there was a great deal of sadness in their heart about the sadness that they saw from other folk. And that's a part of being a Christ follower. I mean, when you follow Jesus, you can't rejoice at somebody else's hurt. And so it's not that that the persons who were for the traditional plan were not relieved that the traditional plan passed, but they were not rejoicing that in passing the traditional plan, that people who didn't want it passed were not hurting. If you understand, so it's so nobody really rejoiced because no one wanted to hurt anybody, and I really wish in my heart. I think some people do understand that, but I think that is very difficult when you've been gladiators and fighting, and you so-called lose. I think it's very difficult for you to look at the person who you believe won and believe that they still have a love for you in their heart. And so at the end of the day, I think there was a great deal of sorrow and sadness. And then the last piece of that is there were times during that general conference when we said things to each other that did not please God. I mean, there were moments in the heat of battle that we dishonored God. And we brought hurt and injury. And when I say hurt and injury, it was enough to go around. It was on both sides of the battle. And I really think with hindsight and with prayer, I don't think we would have said it. Because the part that brought hurt to me was the thought of people watching that who were not Christians, and whether or not they would now want to be Christians. Not United Methodists, but want to be Christians after seeing how we treated one another. Doesn't matter what side you were on. We were very mean to each other. And I think that's the part that brought me sadness, because I'm always, everybody has a dominant theme in their life. And my dominant theme is I want everybody to know Jesus. I just do. I just think that a man or woman without Jesus is missing something that is very special for the living of their days. And I want them all to know him, to know Jesus. And I don't want to be guilty of saying something or doing something to stop somebody. And I just know that while we met in St. Louis, we said some very painful things to each other. And if I was a non-believer, I would say, wow, if that's loving, I sure don't want to be a part of that. So